Good
morning.
Good. I really, do you know what? Can I be honest with you? Sometimes I feel really, really sad when we start the show. And can I tell you why?
Why?
Because you have never once joined me in saying good morning. And I keep waiting. You know, like at school when you think you're all part of the same team, the same group, and then somebody's not of the same group. You're like that. You never say good morning with me.
Sorry.
1, 2, 3. Good morning. Oh, you know what he is? You know what else he does that's like this? You know when you go 1, 2, 3 and all jump in the swimming pool, he doesn't jump in the swimming pool. You're that kid. You're horrible.
I don't know what you. Hang on a minute.
No.
You've gone from loving me to hating me.
No, I loved you on Instagram. I don't love you now on YouTube.
Sake. Pick and choose your platforms. Why don't you? Morning, everyone.
Mark, don't be too dark today.
Coffee moment. Don't be dark.
Don't be too horrible.
Who's dark and horrible?
You.
Morning, coffee moaners. I say things differently to you.
But I think it's nice if we say
it again.
Hang on. Would people like to say good morning together and then they could all say good morning? Right, can somebody please say good morning with me now? Start typing. And I want to see someone that says good morning.
Thanks, Country Pumpkin.
So, Mark, the first person that you see that says good morning, tell me their name. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Good morning, coffee moaners.
Nah, says
good morning, Stuart. Love you. I love Stuart G. Do you want to swap? Because
everyone's doing it.
He's good with butchering and gardening.
Everyone's doing it. I'm good.
He could carve my joint.
Gardening.
Stuart could carve my joint.
What are you saying about my gardening?
What
are you saying about my gardening?
You are good.
Jesus
Very good.
Christ.
Don't know if you're as good as Stuart G, but you are good.
Stuart, you can be the judge.
Morning, Helen Askew. Morning, Mark and Nadia.
Everyone is saying good morning, including Sharon Cox.
Oh, hello, Sharon Cox. Thank you, darling. Good morning. So, because we want to have a good moan. That's
you
what
didn't love
moan
Stuart
is,
yesterday. Yeah, what was it Stuart suggested?
Stuart annoyed me yesterday, but I can't remember
what was
why.
it. Hang on. No, what happened? Something.
You did something, Stuart.
No, Stuart suggested I put my hand in and pull the plug out.
Oh, yes, on the live.
Yes.
Guess what? I had to cancel the night with the girls because we didn't actually get the bloody thing finished.
I did my part of the bargain. Oh, and by the way, I just went out and I had to remove the lid that is already making the grass have not enough chlorophyll, is it? Or
chlorophyll.
Pardon?
Chlorophyll.
It's not chlorophyll.
It's spelled P-H-Y-L-L.
It's chlorophyll.
Lilla.
Anyway, the grass was going yellow because we've left the lid. Morning, Lee Durrant. Lovely live last night. Thank you so much. It's a coffee moaning, so it must be a good moaning, says Lee Durrant.
And if you want to catch Mark and Lee's live last night on Instagram, it's uploaded, so you can.
Thanks for that, Lee.
Thanks, Ellen.
Chlorophyll.
See, look, P-H.
You said full. Chlorophyll. Chlorophyll. Oh, God. Chlorophyll. I have. I've got science.
Oh,
you
haven't.
I've got 2. In fact, I've got 2 science.
Oh, what have you got?
Well, because we used to do them physics and chemistry, and then you did general science and biology.
Physics. Every single time I was in physics, I used to cry. I just sit in the back.
I
just
started
tears
physics A
rolling down my face because I was so fucking bored.
I
thought I was really stupid because I didn't know what I couldn't understand what anyone was saying. But the problem was I just wasn't listening because I just wasn't interested.
Are you trying to tell me that that's good for my visceral fat?
That's why I can't drink it.
That one was
not
particularly
hardcore. Not raw.
Oh, I feel like I've just opened the hood of my car and drunk the petrol.
Yeah, we found out another bloody coffee benefit, and I mean it's serious how many things coffee helps you with. So if you can bear to drink black coffee, I can't. It helps to reduce your visceral fat. Visceral fat is the fat that goes around our organs. We need a certain amount of it to protect our organs, our liver and kidneys, whatever. But too much of it is very unhealthy.
I find reducing the body to the abdominal cavity is really unromantic.
Right. God, you know what? My eyes are getting foggier and foggier.
No, you're just.
I'm going to have my bloody cataract operation. I'm really scared.
Me and the girls in the car this morning were talking about the embarrassment of stomachs rumbling. Do your stomachs rumble? Never. Talking of abdominal cavities.
Literally never.
Is that because you're forever full? What does it mean?
I don't know, but yours just always asking for attention.
There was I'm not going to go into the excruciating detail, but me and Naz were being really intimate the other night. And in the middle of intimacy, my stomach...
What are you talking about? Don't say that. We were not in the middle of intimacy.
Yes,
He's
we were.
trying to big up his heart. We were not.
Didn't need to big anything up. And it went... There were 3 people in that marriage at that point. 3 people. Anyway, the girls were
There'll
saying...
be one person in this marriage if you carry on.
They can't wrap their head around the sounds my stomach makes. It's phenomenal. I can do a singing duet with my stomach sometimes. It's amazing. What does it actually mean when your stomach rumbles?
I don't know if it's not a bad thing. My husband's rumbles like thunder.
Jill Taylor.
Let's look it up.
I love physics and coffee, Rachel Pickard. Zoe saying thank you for your Palestinian video last night. It was incredibly distressing, wasn't it? Really. Never did physics at school, says Raspberry Mojito Girl. It's a reminder, YouTube, that there's more than one way to a man's heart. Stuart G says that you need a good poo. Is
it bad if your stomach rumbles?
Ruffles.
It's
I hate the way she does the mic on everything. You use the mic on everything now.
Rumbles loudly.
Oh.
It's because of my thumb. I've been told not to use it. And now my thumb doesn't hurt.
That could be why my stomach
rumbles. Rumbling stomach. Oh, look at the name for it. A borborygmy.
Borborygmy.
No, the R is here.
Borborygmy.
Thank you. It's generally normal and a sign of healthy digestion. It's usually caused by the movement of food and fluids. But why? There is usually no food in it because you're hungry.
No, that's not true. My stomach rumbles the most when I've eaten something, but I'm not full.
However, if rumbling is accompanied by other symptoms like pain, bloating, or changes in bowel movements, consult a doctor.
Clodagh says mine rumbles during funerals. Mine rumbles whenever there's a silent moment in the theatre.
So that's interesting. Could it be like a nervous thing? You know, like when you giggle if it's too quiet.
My stomach knows that it shouldn't rumble when it rumbles. It's healthy, says Carla Hatcham.
If it's constant or very loud,
hang on,
especially if it's accompanied by other gastroenteritis, consult a doctor. Yours is very loud.
It's so loud. Sean de Cruz says mine rumbles in a sassy way. I leave it. Sometimes if you like that, I find it more engaging than talking to some people. It's much more rewarding for you.
But you know, it keeps me awake sometimes.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't get that link I sent you yesterday. The person snoring.
No, I didn't.
That's a funny one.
I'm always hungry, says Zoe. Often get windy, says Julie, the singing nutcase. Anita Burke, my stomach rumbles so loudly. Last night we was watching telly, and my husband looked at me in disgust. He thought I had farted. It's the numbskulls having a laugh, says Rachel Pickard.
Well, yesterday this video popped up.
Sergeant, what does it mean if your bum rumbles?
Oh, I don't think that's good.
It's called a fart.
Well, no,
it's called a fart.
Yes, that's a fart. But and on that, yesterday I saw this video, right? It was this couple and they were getting married. And they said, does anybody know any reason why these two can't marry? And he farted.
He didn't.
He did. And then it smelt as well because they were going like that. And then they couldn't stop laughing.
Oh, well, I wouldn't marry him.
I wonder if you pushed the fart out on purpose. Maybe it's a joke.
If you farted at the podium, I think I would have walked.
What we have to put up with in this house, and it's the sounds. It's not anything else. Don't. I'm going to start filming you.
Okay, I'm going to show you an image that I find really sickening. I hate images like that. Oh no, not like this. Oh, come on. Yeah, like this.
Yes.
That is so annoying.
Well, it's also AI'd.
It's not. I think
no one's all going to get up there at the same time.
What do you mean? I think no, you're probably right. I mean, now you can't trust any image.
That's the trouble, isn't it? Because sometimes when something's a really beautiful image, you can't
But that's a major thing. That's a major thing. You know, I mean, I think that's not AI'd. Does that fill you with joy? The proposition of being with a bunch of women in white robes?
Well,
overlooking the countryside?
Listen, absolutely it does. I adore nothing more. Like, you know, last year when
women in bathrobes. Neither do I.
Dina arranged that trip to Bavaria for me and the girls, and it was just joyful. But I tell you this.
What?
We were women of a certain age. Well, women in our 60s. We were slobbing about. There was no waistline with our dressing gown. We weren't all nipped in. Everyone's swimming. It's the matching thing that as soon as everybody is matching.
Isn't everyone comparing?
I find it, what you're doing is, you're looking for perfection. So it's not about actually what's going on inside. It's about a look. It's about an image. But not always, because for some people it's more fun all dressing up and looking the same. But I hate the Instagrammability of all that sort of stuff, the Zen stuff.
I think you raised something there, which I think is a really interesting question. This is about Zen-dos rather than hen-dos. This is more and more people are kind of electing to go for things like spa days and yoga sessions and
fantastic
and puppy yoga and things like that.
Of course, I did in a way because I was pregnant.
Yeah, absolutely. I didn't.
But we didn't go anywhere because we didn't have any money.
But could I ask, is this kind of uniformity of everyone looking the same for the photos on a hen-do? Is there usually some member of the group? And I'm only saying this not as a, someone who's maybe slightly larger than the others who always feels, fucking hell, why are we having to do this?
Well, I'm lucky that I don't come from that generation. So but I would imagine, like, if that had been in my era,
yes,
I would have felt like the lump. I would have felt like a lump.
Right.
I wasn't a lump, but my head was telling me I was a lump.
Not that you are a lump, but in this photograph, you would be the one perhaps not clearing the horizon line.
I'd be going, not in my knees.
We wouldn't see your
not
legs.
In my knees.
We wouldn't see clear blue sunlight or orange sunlight between your feet and the mountain, would we?
But I do think, I really love this idea of women sparring together. Now, you don't have to go away.
No.
You don't, these things are very expensive. To say, I've been trying to arrange this for the last 3 years. My yoga teacher says yes every time I say it. Say, come over for the day. We'll all have really lovely food. Do a yoga lesson. We'll do each other's nails and stuff. We'll get somebody in to do a massage. You can do all of that for a day. You can even all stay the night. And you're going to do that on nothing compared to going away. And the reason why it's so much better than just doing the old traditional hen night, which is, I used to get anxiety about hen nights. And I was a heavy drinker because I knew I was going to have to get bladdered. It's not that different to a stag night, I'm sure.
Not at all.
Really pissed because it was going to go on, and you were going to go to a club, and you were going to be knackered, and then you're going to have to go somewhere else. I didn't enjoy it. But why I love being with other women is they make me laugh. I love sharing everyone's stories and getting deep about stuff and like trying to work people out. That's why I love sitting with other women and like finding out.
Do you ever make out with them?
I don't like surface relationships where it's just like just doesn't interest me.
Men just hit each other.
You know what?
You do make out.
You know what? And this has been my epiphany about drinking when I was younger. Right. Actually, I was always like that. I didn't know I was.
Always like what?
I was always like I am now. That's what I wanted, but I didn't know that so much of why I would drink so much was that wasn't what I was seeing. Do you know what I mean? It was not I was reaching.
Yeah, I mean, I always felt bad because the whole kind of party thing. I mean, obviously, I had a stag do, and it involved a lot of drink and it involved a lot of shooting because we were on a paintball thing. And it was very sort of, there was no kind of connecting, there was no discussing, there was no reminiscing, there was no remembering. There was none of that sort of, even the single life versus what's going to happen next type stuff. It was just getting out there and just kind of just doing it. And I do sometimes look at hen dos and I look at stag dos and I think there's a sort of, especially when we've even seen them getting onto planes, going abroad, there's a trudgery. There's a sort of sense of, I've got to do this obligation.
The amount of times when people say to me they're going to a hen or going to say, I think I've got to go to this hen.
Yeah, why people say it in a...
And so I'm really glad that our girls are growing up in an era where this imagery is there, where there's there's an option to it.
Yeah.
I mean, we go to the gym regularly. And there are so many young people, and it's become very important to one of our daughters. She is just absolutely, she will not have it. She doesn't go to the gym 3 times a week.
Would anyone here, would you go to a Zen? What I think is quite funny about the piece, which sort of, again, it's one of those kind of lifestyle pieces that lacks facts, but has a nice title, Zen-dos. But
quite a lot of people saying about the small talk and like,
I just
read some of your comments.
I just quickly wanted to ask a question in terms of going on a Zen-do. What they talk about is doing all these Zen-like things, but there's always a point where you then end up having drinks. And isn't the devil in the detail? Because at the point that you have drinks, you just kind of blow out and go fucking nuts.
But that's quite nice. I mean, it's like Like the spa day I want to do here, I imagine we'll eat, we'll do some yoga, we'll do some mashup, and then we'll start towards the afternoon having a few drinks, getting a bit pissed, so what? But when it starts on a plane at 10 o'clock in the morning, you know what I mean? You and you're going to a dinner and then you're going to a club.
Lucy Williams, best hen do I went to was my sister's. We all went and stayed in a caravan, went horse riding, went for a pizza. That was it. No drinking, but the best hen do ever. Zero pressure, all fun.
You know what I like about that, Lucy? It's like, it's adult play.
Yeah.
You know, and like you look at a lot of American society and they play big time because they're so into sport, aren't they? So, you know, it's get the ball out, it's do this, it's do that, it's the board games. And we are getting so much better at that. And, you know, I would like to say thank you to Gen Z for it. Because it's actually Gen Z that's leading to. Oh, is that the one you're now not even friends with? Oh, outrageous, outrageous.
See, I think the other part of the hen do and the stag. I'm trying to think of men. I think men would be very threatened by the idea that you couldn't have a drink because you would all be faced with the social awkwardness of what the fuck do we say to each other?
I don't think it's about saying you can't have a drink, but I think it's about saying, how can we play? How can we have fun? How can we talk about? How can we all know these people that get married? What do we remember? You know, all that sort of stuff.
Thorny Harvey's a hen dodger.
Yeah.
He's become expert at avoiding hen do's. Yeah, it is like, it's like you hear it and you think, oh God, Armageddon. And why is it that every hen do and stag do seems to be all about making the hen or the stag be unfaithful? It's so weird.
So here we go. Sarah, me and my mates got a party bus into London, dressed as elves, went to Winter Wonderland, dinner and drinks. They still say it was the best they've been on. Well,
I think I might have bumped into you guys.
But you know that you've got to go with what's right for your group, haven't you? I mean, Dina would love that. I love dressing up. Absolutely
Dina loves the thing on her head.
I love dressing up. I love doing all of that thing. So.
She? Except she wouldn't like one with penises.
I think we should read because so many people have commented.
For my hen, we went to a brilliant show in London called Forbidden Nights, and then I drank too much and ruined my night.
That was it at the end, Gin.
Oh, we are too scared, country pumpkin, of making a fool of ourselves while playing in this culture. I think social media has helped with that.
I do. That's what I'm saying. I want to thank Gen Z.
Yeah.
Play.
Adele Norse, nay Kirby. My hen do was just in my mum's garden, which we had fun decorating beforehand. We had a few drinks, ate some food, played some games. Was lovely and simple.
Wholesome hens.
Stuart G, me and my husband went out together on a stag night with friends nearly 20 years ago now.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah,
to celebrate both of you.
Lucy Williams, my sister's hen do was many years before this generation's influence. It was about 25 years ago we did that. I do think the 90s were a particularly hedonistic time. And I think you're absolutely right. I think the fact that everything can be recorded, everything can be seen in the age of, imagine us if we'd lived in the age of Snapchat and TikTok and Instagram stories.
Don't even want to think about it.
Imagine the mess.
Don't want to think about it because the internet never forgets.
The internet never forgets. But anyway, that said, I still fucking hate photos like that. They're really annoying. Should we have a funny?
Yes.
Oh, this isn't a funny. This is a sweet. I just wanted to show you this. Watch this. Picked my sister up from her job at daycare and this happened.
Oh.
All the dogs just...
Oh my God, Bella.
Just looking at her.
Oh, they're not even barking.
No, they're just, where have you gone?
They don't want you to leave.
Oh, that's so cute.
That's so loud.
Oh my God, Bella.
That is so sweet.
Literally looking. Don't you love that? That was one of my favourite things. You know, when you talk about spark of joy, whenever I did go to London Zoo or somewhere like that, I used to love it when the animals would come out for feeding.
Yeah, it's
so sweet. Apart from Chi is so incessant with her feed. She sits at the bottom of the stairs from 7 a.m. looking up the stairs. Do you know that?
Annoying.
And she does just a tiny whimper that wakes me up every morning.
Maybe we should start putting a thing across the. Maybe we need a door.
Yes. Okay. Next story. Old adults.
Are there any builders here? Any DIY people who know about doors?
Old adults lead active surge. Or surge in active lifestyles.
I think we should.
Story.
No, I think we should go first with the other one because we've just done healthy.
Oh, sorry, party story. All right, go ahead.
So, both Mark and I sent each other this story today and went, what day, how old were we when we stopped? And this is an article about how smoking, drinking, drug taking, all the vices. So basically this start taking their toll at the age of 36. Researchers tracked the health of hundreds of children born in 1959 until they were 61 and found those who consistently smoked booze, lounged around in their younger years, ended up sicker and more depressed. So there's not a lot of shock in that.
Can I ask a question? I just want to ask a question about the research. The part of this story I didn't understand is, are they saying you can drink, drug, do all these things up till 36? Or is 36 the age at which, because it can't be that clean a marker.
There were two different articles, and one was suggesting if you haven't stopped, the other article was saying if you stop in your 20s, you have a chance of undoing the damage. And at
so what's
36, around that, obviously it's an average, mid-30s is when it starts to hit the damage that you've done. So that might be in cancer, cardiovascular disease, all of that.
Me too, on midnight on your 35th. But
yeah,
I think, again, but also the other variable in this is it depends on how much you've done and how damaging your lifestyle is in your 20s.
I mean there's going to be multiple variables.
Yeah, but there'll be sort of normal 20s hedonism, and then there'll be my sort of 20s hedonism.
Well, I mean, they're not going to be talking about people that are shooting up heroin. I think that they're talking more or less about general vices. If you've really, abused the alcohol and smoking as we did, fantastically. And, for years I used to chew gum whilst smoking.
Wow.
So bad for you.
Why did you do that?
Because I didn't like the taste of cigarettes. So I'm such a fucking idiot.
I used to smoke every time I had a cigarette, each individual cigarette. I would panic that cigarette had given me cancer. Yeah. I'd have a conscious thought. I'd think, well, what if that's the one that's...
Dot Cotton, she used to have a vitamin C tablet after every single cigarette.
But the weird thing is, so they're saying 36. The reason I felt a little bit smug and tickety-boo when I saw that age was I had stopped drinking by 34.
No, I mean, what the article says that you need to stop in your 20s.
Right, so there is a lag. It's like braking distance in driving, isn't it? You hit the brakes at 28. By the time you pull into 36,
you're starting in your 20s. Obviously, it's very, of course, there's millions of variables, but the general idea seems to be, if you're caning it, try and stop in your 20s. And if you've caned it a lot, around your mid-30s, you're going to the problems will start to show. They'll have been developing through that time, and then they'll show.
So if you're still going at 35, 36.
And then if you're still really boozing your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, it's obvious. Yeah. It's obvious.
Nora Doyle, all of the ingredients list for anyone who's joining the cook-along tonight, they are always posted on the notice board, the members' posts. If you go to the homepage of the channel, you'll have videos, playlists, lives, posts. Click on posts. It's there.
It's there. And guys, if you want to join, so tonight we've got the Greek cook along with the curly cooks in the members area. If you want to join, go to the members area and you can click on the link there. And tonight it's pork souvlaki and garlic oregano fries and a salad and proper tzatziki, not the horrible stuff you get in the shops. And Mark's going to be smashing some plates. We've got to find some. We'll be doing some ouzo, so it's going to be a really fun night. If you are, I think Tina's going to make an ouzo cocktail. Actually, she'll be making a mocktail as well for those that don't drink. So we know we have many that don't drink here, and it's really fun. It's more intimate. We get to chat to you a bit more, and it starts at 7 o'clock tonight. And if you can't make it at 7 o'clock, it is uploaded, so you can watch it at another time.
What was the thing that made you stop partying? Do you think? At what point, when you look back over your life and you sort of think, God, I kind of, because I think
children.
I was going to say, was it children?
I'd have carried on until I was dead.
Because I'm going to say something quite bold. I don't think I never liked parties, going to them.
Well, when I say partying, I mean like.
Yeah, no, I know, but I was about to run through all of it. I didn't like partying. I found clubbing. I liked dancing, but the problem I often had with clubs was very rarely, and in fact, our girls complain of this. I don't know if any other youngsters here do. you go to clubs to dance and they rarely play the actual music you want to dance to. They might play quite good, cool dance music, but it's never, they always say, the girls, when they're listening to music in the car or at home, oh, I wish clubs played this music. So parties, I never really liked. Clubbing, I never really liked all that stuff. I could never really hear anything or anything anyone was saying. And often when I could, I was a bit bored, so I took drugs and drank.
Exactly. It's more of, when you look back, it will often be because you didn't actually want to be there.
You didn't want to be there. Isn't it amazing the damage we do to ourselves because we don't want to be there?
So, but I think it's also things like not drinking milk. When I was younger, I hated milk, and now I'm in my 50s, I have osteoporosis, very low blood calcium levels, and now have to take very high doses of calcium. On that, Thanks, from Faith. Day dot, what we eat or don't eat and do and don't do causes micro-inflammation, which of course we need to heal. You cut your finger, inflammation comes and heals it. But inflammation right through life, rising when you don't need it to, because it doesn't need to fight something off. And that's why, you know, we go on and on about the gut and what you're eating. You want to keep it steady. You just want to keep it calm until it's needed. You don't want it like activating. And all of that is going on way before it hits you. So, you know, Nanny Di is suffering terribly because she has massively high levels of inflammation that started back in the 20s.
Yeah.
And then she fed it and fed it and fed it and fed it until her inflammation went higher and higher. So everything, I think it's really worth, because so much stuff comes up about health, doesn't it? But it's really worth looking at the inflammation thing. And the Zoe podcast that was out last week, honestly, it was really interesting. If you don't know anything about inflammation and food, listen to it, because it will really, it makes it very clear.
Zoe, hangovers, I just can't handle them anymore. I used to go out 4 days in a row back in the day, same 5 days in a row. I would be drinking to cure the hangover, or be getting to the pub as quickly as possible to cure the hangover.
And nothing cures the hangover except sleep.
Elsa Bott says, doesn't mince her words, just my opinion, but if you're still binge drinking in your mid-30s and 40s, you need to grow up. I mean, I do sometimes by stealth hear what other men of my age are doing through various parents of friends and I do think, oh, thank fuck, I'm not that sad. If I'm honest, I really do. I think, yes,
because I'm just really thinking about what you just read out. And you know what I think, because I was like, yeah, you just need to grow up. You know what I was actually thinking? It is always about covering up. Always. If you're still drinking heavily in your 30s and 40s, you've got to ask, what are you not wanting to see? What are you not wanting to feel? What are you trying to avoid? Don't avoid those emotions, because it's what are you frightened of? What are you frightened of? I mean, I see it as fear.
I mean, I literally get on bended knee almost, and thank God that I haven't continued what would have been a hugely humiliating journey through drink and drug addiction. Because what also comes with drink and drugs as you get older, they con you into thinking you're still young, and that you can, and this isn't about, don't get me wrong, I'm not, there's two different thoughts here. I think it's really important that as you get older to stay youthful, playful, childlike. I think that's fine. But I think pissed childlike and pissed having fun, thinking you're getting down with the kids when you're much older, there's a real cringe factor in there, especially if you're a parent, especially if you've got kids. And
this is why, to do something else, me and my partner went to over 30s club night last weekend. 90s dance tunes was brilliant. No teens, didn't feel old. That's wonderful. That's play, isn't it? And you want to go back and do that stuff without being off your nuts, because we all love dancing. Most of us love dancing and love music, don't we?
Yeah, Sarah, it's a bit embarrassing when you're still drinking like that in your 30s, 40s. I always see those people as suffering, dealing with something. That's exactly what you just said, isn't it? I just saw someone there just talking about inflammation. Inflammation, I literally, Mum, it's like parents are sent to us for cautionary lessons. And my line to all my daughters is, I'm here as a resource tool for around addiction and compulsion and, you know, all of that sort of stuff.
And mental health.
And mental health issues, you know, come to me, you know, that is my purpose for you guys, is learn from me, try. I can't stop you from making the same mistakes.
We always say to them, we're not saying you've got to go around like, I'm never going to drink. Because but just cautionary tale. But
the thing that I'm still, and it's almost accelerating as quickly as my dear Ma is slowing down. I am literally, even Nadia isn't even aware of this, I am reading up and looking into so many things and choices and supplements and lifestyle and types of exercise that I need to do to avoid inflammation. And the reason it's so sort of redolent for me, this is because I sat with my mum's neurologist, And she literally said to my mum, you are inflammation. You need to change your diet. You need to change your actions. You need movement.
She said you need to walk up and down in a swimming pool for how long?
Well, hours.
Hours.
Yeah, to undo where my dear mum was at. So I think the reason, I'm not saying this isn't a kind of lesson in what my mum did choose to do or didn't choose to do. My mum's leading a life, and we respect that in the way that she wants to. But if you are or have a hunch, as I saw, I've lost the comment, where you say, I struggle with inflammation and I'm struggling. It really isn't one of the, I always thought of it as one of those non-specific words that refers to nothing but could encapsulate everything. But actually, and it's thanks to Nadia, it's the heart, goes to the heart of everything. Absolutely everything.
And where do we go back to again? The gut.
The gut, yeah, absolutely. Okay, so sorry, that was leading on to, so old adults leading active surge. This is great, this story, I love this. Record numbers of Britons are exercising and playing sports, a new report has found, with older adults leading the charge.
Now, is this because we are all shitting ourselves about how over the top we were with our drinking and smoking?
It's just because we're literally shitting ourselves. Yeah, no, I mean, I think, well, I think part of it, nearly 2/3 of adults, nearly 2/3, according to the NHS, are meeting the target recommended of 150 minutes per week of moderate exercise.
How many hours is that? Ask me that.
What?
The alcohol glass.
How many hours is what?
150 minutes.
2.5.
Oh God, I don't think I do 2.5.
2.5 hours of moderate exercise. I mean, I
move all day.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the other thing, guys.
So finish this detail. Despite Gen Z's notorious love of the gym, we've talked a lot about it, it's actually older adults that are driving the increase, with adults between 55 and 74, I'm not quite in that bracket yet, and the over 75 seeing a steady increase in activity during the past 3 years. Now, one of the reasons they do say for this, and this is, again, if you think a weird tangential link, but if you think of things like the awareness and information we've received and understand about something like Israel, Gaza, it's social media is once again, and the internet, the availability of information. This is definitely the sort of information revolution that we're in the middle of. People are doing this because they are learning more.
I mean, every day I learn something about health or physical. And the thing is also that we have to be, I follow, there's this really good woman that both me and Dina follow called, she's got a funny old title. I think it's Petra Fish. Dina, are you here? Petra Fish Movement. And she is somebody that is, what would you call her? So she's not anti anything. She's really like, she's just like full on humble sort of person. But she is Petra Fisher Movement. Follow her. And she is into this thing of just natural movement.
Is this natural?
Like so you just move as much as you just move as much as you can. She doesn't go to the gym,
dad does it a
but
lot.
she walks a lot. She does the hanging, all that sort of stuff. But Petra Fisher Movement, and it really appeals to me that because loads of people hate the gym. And the thing is, you can go to the gym and just keep working the same muscles. But these movement people say, if you keep moving just in the same position, there are other positions your body can't move in. Yeah. So it's about getting full range of movement. And that keeps you really young.
Bex Bruce, my dad is 81 and still cycles 30 minutes 3 times a week. He's so well, good for his health, mental and physical. Brilliant. It is brilliant. I mean, I'm looking up at the moment. I'm on the, bearing in mind I'm 6 years behind you. And if you go back 6 years in your life, what you've become aware of in the last 6 years, re your health, you weren't aware of. So I've started, all the kind of issues around collagen for men and stuff like that, how men's joints and ligaments and all that kind of stuff can be protected and looked after. It's the first time in my life as well that I'm starting to kind of mix up my exercise, that I don't become an obsessive runner on the
or
treadmill.
Repeating the same exercise.
Or that one moves around the body, or one looks for cardio in different ways. And I don't think it is a male female thing. Some of us just get very trapped in a very fixed, this is the regimen, and I know I can, and I'm trying to kind of undo that too. So,
and it is interesting when you've got kids, because They really do follow what you do. And
Yes.
it's like our youngest, because she's grown up in the era where we got really healthy and we both exercise regularly and everything. She totally just does that because that's just what she's seen. And she's
Yes.
seen how much we love it.
Yes.
And now it's such an important part of her life, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Whereas Maddie was in our other era.
Yes, that's true. I just want to show this clip. This is funny for anyone in a long-term relationship.
There she is. You guys have no idea how lucky I am that I'm married to her. Oh, hey.
What the fuck are you looking at?
I was watching you. You were coming up.
Dude, you have a problem? You're like a fucking creep.
I feel so sorry for him. If you were wondering what 20 years together sounds like, so I'm going to play it again. He's saying how lovely she is, and then he obviously got a bit embarrassed.
There she is. You guys have no idea how lucky I am that I'm married to her. Oh, hey.
What the fuck are you looking at?
I was watching you. You were coming up.
Dude, you have a problem? You're like a fucking creep.
The reason I like that clip is that I think being in the car when your other loved one walks towards you. Sometimes when I'm picking up,
I said
when I'm
this
picking
2
up,
years ago. You always steal this.
No, I don't
I always
steal it.
say it's not fair.
I was about to say, you said this some years ago, and it is a real moment as a driver that you do pause and you think, because I always like to look at the girls when they're walking towards the car.
The girls.
No, our girls. I look because I just see them and I'll pull fully funny faces and they always end up
like that. They don't want us to look at
No, they
them.
don't, but they always smile embarrassedly, and it's fun. I like it. It's nice. We should do it more often together. But I felt so sorry for him.
I say to you hello every time you come in on the. Well, now I've got the ring thing on my phone, and you never say hello back.
I've never heard it. I've come in
It's
by
recorded.
the time you've said it.
You just walk past and go, hello.
I literally haven't heard it once. I've never had anyone talk to me on a Ring doorbell because I am the doorbell keeper. I have it all in my phone, so I just think there's no one seeing this shit than me.
Oh, I do say hello.
Oh, well, the next time I'll take longer coming in and I'll moony you. Did you want to play your Ludo?
Oh, Bex Bruce says I still get shivers when my husband picks me up, married 25 years. I feel like a teen.
Bex. Just going back to the health.
Maybe I would if Mark wasn't like this.
Elizabeth.
Well, it's
Elizabeth.
it's very sweet. Comes to pick me up. I come out to the car and I go, "Hi, how are you?" He goes, "Yeah, all right." You, because he's thinking, "Gotta get back to the computer."
Elizabeth Miller. I've started swimming
you
since
try
being told
smiling
I'm
at me next
pre-diabetic.
time?
But yes,
Will you smile at me the next time you pick
yes,
me up?
yes.
Because you don't. ever smile
All
at
right.
me.
Okay.
You really don't. ever
Okay.
smile at me.
Elizabeth Miller. I've started swimming since being told I'm pre-diabetic. I'm enjoying it, but still struggling to improve my eating habits.
You know what I find, Elizabeth, as well? Do you find swimming makes you really hungry? It makes me really hungry.
Does it?
You know what's a really good thing as well that I love, and Dina's got one as well, is the trampoline. Because you can do it anytime, anywhere, any place. And no, you can't. That's total rubbish. What am I talking about? You can do it at any time because it's in your house, not any place, because you can't take it on the bus with you. And you can just do 2 or 3 minutes all through the day. Get on it, hop on it, hop on, hop off.
What do you do?
Hop on, hop off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really good for, like, getting your metabolism going. Maybe think about getting one of them.
Okay. Good.
And try the nitric oxide Zach Bush. As I've started again, I can already feel it's unbelievable.
Do you set an alarm in your phone? How often do you need to do it?
3 times a day I do it,
Right.
but I'm now, since yesterday, I do it this 20 times,
yourself.
not 10.
Okay, good. What was the other thing I was going to say? I've completely forgotten.
Right, so can I just take a minute to say something?
And also, just before you take a minute to say something, I just want to share with you just this detail. On Sunday evening, we will be doing a live review and discussion of this documentary that is landing on the BBC, Louis Theroux's The Settlers. It's landing on BBC iPlayer. It's going to be on BBC Two at 9 p.m. on Sunday. I read a fascinating interview with him. It's freely available. If you go and read the interview with Louis Theroux, in fact, it's written by Louis Theroux on Deadline, which is the Hollywood news sort of website. And he just talks in great detail and in the way that we all love Louis Theroux. Well, not all do. I mean, my mother can't stand it. But he talks.
I love him. He's my
talks
favorite
about
interview.
how and if you think about it, I thought this was interesting. He talks about how he always interviews and embeds with what he calls the perpetrators.
That's what he's interested
He's interested in perpetrators. So he's been criticised for platforming the settlers. His point is actually when people see this documentary, it's not anti-Israel, but it's
anti the bloody settlers, I hope,
exactly.
because what they're doing is illegal.
He's interested in challenging, but in order to best challenge perpetrators, you have to sidle up alongside them.
Yes.
And that's what he's remarkably good at, is getting in so you can get under the skin. Otherwise, we have no way of getting closer to reveal the inherent kind of awfulness of someone. So,
I wonder if...
So that's on Sunday evening.
I wonder
so
if
it'll
that's
be a
well
live
explained,
conversation.
Because a lot of the community, the Arab community, may not know him and may not understand that. So I wonder if he talks about that at the beginning. It's Bunty's handsome husband's birthday today. I'd love it if you could wish him a happy birthday, please. His name is Bungle.
Is it really?
Yeah, we've had a tough few years, but he is my unwavering rock and I love him. Well, Bungle, you sound like a damn fine man who's also a bit of a looker. So let's sing happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bungle. Happy birthday to you from your Bunty.
From your what?
Bunty.
I thought you said from your bum to your poo.
Mark!
Sorry.
Why do you ruin people's birthday songs always?
Bungle will like that, I'm sure. Okay.
Right. So just also, guys, today...
Stick with us. The quiz is happening after this.
Actually, just last night, so I'm not totally across all the details yet, but as you know, many of you know, I'm the ambassador of Children Not Numbers, an amazing charity who is doing vital, heartbreaking work with the children of Gaza. And they have, so this May, they want us to come together across the country to cover 2,225 miles, the distance from Children Not Numbers address in London to Gaza. So every mile you walk, run, cycle or move will help us reach our goal, showing also, which is important, the solidarity and raising vital funds for those in need. When you complete whether you complete 1 mile or 100, every step counts. Take part at your own pace, wherever you are, and be part of this powerful movement. We will be doing it as a family.
So how does it work? Do you sign up, donate, and then run, or do you get other people to sponsor you? So you sign up, donate £10 to take part in the challenge, which means that they're raising money that way. And then I think, as I say, it's only... I'm doing it. Yeah, we're all going to do it. Dina will be doing it. Run a load of miles. I might try and run all those miles for them. They should see if they can get... I mean, I know you don't want me to run a marathon, and maybe we could do it sensibly, like run, walk, but I can more than happily run a marathon for them. Yeah, no, I don't want you to run a marathon. I want to. No. Why not? We'll talk about that. Too old. So Mark has put the link up underneath. Christopher Condor asks, will it count with me in a wheelchair? I think absolutely. It will. Absolutely. Of course, absolutely. I mean, Christopher, in a way, that would be, amazing. Sorry, I just felt the amount of children in Gaza who will need wheelchairs because they may have had both of their limbs cut off with no reason other than there was no medic to help them. So it would be very powerful for people that have an understanding of the challenges of living in a wheelchair. Christopher said he'll do it with bells on. Now you've said that, I want a photograph of you in your wheelchair with bells on it, please. Yes, please. And so you can raise whatever you want. So it's not like you've got to raise a minimum. The minimum you've got to give is £10. Once again, if you and then you can walk with your friends. And if you can't afford it, share the link, which is under this description. Sharing and asking others is very, very powerful. Yeah. Again, for the solidarity, for people, we have to keep this in vision, what is going on. It's getting worse and worse and worse every single minute. It is beyond urgent. It's so photographs of you doing it in whatever way you do it. You can even do it in your own home, walking around. It can be 1 mile or 100 miles. It's just as important. When you think about the people that work with Children Not Numbers and morale and keeping them out and letting them know that there's all these people that give a shit. So, yeah. I'm gonna be doing that. Did you say there was an update to be had? Because some of you may well have, as I did yesterday, seen the footage that Nadia was incredibly emotionally and distressingly describing in her Gaza film on the channel. Please go and check it out. Some of this footage is so difficult to watch. Most of it is unbroadcastable because it's so awful. And yet, as Nadia rightly said yesterday, it might be unbroadcastable, but it doesn't mean it's undoable because it's been done. And the footage of quite literally a severed young girl, just sort of 50 yards away from a young boy who, distressed, screaming, found himself suddenly like shrapnel had landed on the top of the building.
He'd been thrown from one building to the other, and I was really distressed about this little boy. He kept looking back for his sister, whoever it was. He was in two halves, but you know, she arrived in 2 different ambulances, 2 halves. So that's what we're talking about. That's what children.
Did you say there was
seeing.
an update about him?
So the good news is, because he was like on this tower block and everything. They got him somehow. I don't know. I'll find out the full story and post about it later. They did get the little boy down, because and it looks like from the video I could see that he did have both his legs, but I'm not sure. So I just want to find out.
Now we live in the most sinister evil of times. That, you know, one is relieved that he's alive, but you've also got IDF snipers that seem to make a sport of shooting children. So you know, nothing is guaranteed.
Dozens of doctors that have given evidence on this, saying that children are coming in with sniper bullets.
But don't worry, Ben Gvir, who himself was a member of a terrorist organization, the most disgusting Israeli official you could hope to witness, encounter, or hear from, has been welcomed into America.
Mar-a-Lago.
Oh, wow.
Talking about how they punish the hostages, the Palestinian hostages.
But to be fair and in the spirit of balance, 12 synagogues in New York refused to invite him or entertain him.
Oh my God!
So, you know,
the Jewish community are so brave. There were 2 Jews walking alongside him, and if you think about what America's like at the moment, just saying to him over and over again in Hebrew, shame, shame on you, shame on you. They were walking alongside, and all the ICE people and everything, you know, were like, and they were, what? I'm just walking along the sidewalk. I'm just brave. We need people to be brave.
You're right, YouTube. I've got 4 or 5 stories which are kind of update stories. I mean, you can't talk about them and not get emotional, but I might land an update on Gaza stories later today. I've got 5 stories, and one of them is about the medics, further footage and further proof that they were summarily executed by machine gun fire, shot at consistently for 3 whole minutes. So, yeah. Link, Zoe, you just said, where's the link? Yes, the link. So when this is uploaded, and in fact, it may be there now, there's a description box beneath this live. Just hit the drop down menu, it will drop down, and the link is there to go directly to the page. Miles for Gaza. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
And I'll be posting about it lots.
And for all you family friends, we'll see you tonight. And as I say, something else will be landing on the channel later today.
What date is it?
27th.
Okay, so I think this starts in May.
It's the 25th.
So I think it starts in May. So yeah.
Brilliant. All right, guys. Thanks for all your.
Hang on.